888-978-7776. Is this the biggest disappointment in Lakers history? That Nash-Dwight team made the playoffs. The Malone-Payton team went to the finals. This team is not one of the 10 out of 15 to be playing in the postseason. Is it the biggest disappointment in sports history? In sports history. Give me a bigger disappointment. Key, Jay, I can think of lots of teams where the expectations were so high because the Patriots went undefeated and they're in and they don't win the Super Bowl, right? But I'm talking about.
At least they got to the Super Bowl.
They didn't achieve liftoff on this team.
Yeah, and not only that, they didn't put the team together to go to the Super Bowl at the preseason mark, you know?
Yeah.
The Lakers put this team together to win the championship. They put the team together specifically to win the championship.
And
they went out and got Westbrook to win the championship. They went out and got Dwight and brought him back to win the championship. And they went back and got Rondo, who's not there anymore, to win the championship. Instead of, as you know, Jay, surround them dudes, them three. I call them three ice creams. Surround them with some young guns, man. Let them young guns run. But LeBron didn't want it. He didn't want the young fellas. He want veteran dudes that could help him do what he needed to do, and you see what he got.
See, this is where Jeannie Buss needs to go next level, because when I think about LeBron James back in Miami, LeBron James and his relationship with Mickey Arison, there was an in-between person, and that person was Pat Riley.
That's
right?
quite a person.
So when LeBron sees Pat Riley, he's like, I'm not going over Pat Riley's head to tell Mickey Arison something. That can come back to bite me. There was a level of respect there. I do not feel like there's that same level of respect with Rob Pelinka, and the relationship that I think that LeBron and Rich Paul have with Jeannie Buss. That's something that she needs to learn how to navigate better, because they should have never been in this situation in the first place. If they had held their ground, Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, it would have been Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan on this team instead of Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe's guy is in there and LeBron's guy is not in there. I mean, that's the bottom line. Pelinka's Kobe's guy, and LeBron, I'm sure, and Rich Paul wish they had their guy. And probably the best thing for Jeannie to do is pick her person to put there. She's got to pick someone, not
Phil Jackson,
Linda Rambis, not Kurt Rambis, like not a friend, a highly highly effective official, like a executive with a resume, who she trusts.
Yes, and I think that's one of the biggest issues that the Lakers have right now is you got Linda, you got Kurt. People been complaining about them for years because it's her best friend. So, it's like her sister. She was there when Kurt was playing, and Jeannie was just a young lady, and they were friends, and they've been together for a long time. So naturally, she's going to work into the front office. But to have control and decision power and decision-making, and look, Rich Paul, very powerful in the sports world. Probably the most powerful NBA sports agent to this day. He is the modern David Falk, the modern-day David Falk, right, Mike?
Yeah.
So when you look at this in this situation, they've now got to go out there and figure out how to put this team together, because nobody's taking that Westbrook contract. So they now got to just, the three guys and everybody else around them, as I said yesterday, figure out how to make it work.
Is this the biggest disappointment in sports history, this Lakers season? Ray in Los Angeles. You're on with Keyshawn, J. Willimax.
Good morning, gentlemen. This has to be the absolute worst comprised team of all time. I can't even think back to the Jordan Clarkson, Lonzo Ball team that stunk it up for the whole season before LeBron showed up. I think that team had a better chance of beating this team than the team that's been comprised.
Yeah, but see, the problem with those teams, they were not constructed to win a championship. Those were young puppies trying to figure out how to make it through the damn arena after they parked their car.
Those dudes were there to try to create an environment and create assets that could eventually land you guys like, I don't know, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, right? Like, that's what they were doing there. Then you got your guys and couldn't make a play-in tournament. I mean, I can't think of a comp. Can you think of a comp, Jay?
No.
Has there been some college team where the recruits were amazing and they failed to make the tournament on this level?
No. There is no comp. I mean, it's like Tom Brady and those guys winning the Super Bowl, then the following year coming back not not getting anywhere close, getting bounced in the first round, and then the following year coming back and not making the playoffs.
I mean, I remember some I was a Yankees fan. I remember some teams where as a little kid, I thought, oh, we got all this hitting, but we didn't have the pitching. And if I would have been older, I didn't realize that we couldn't pitch well enough. But this team, Wilson in Louisiana. You're on with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
Good morning, guys. This is absolutely the worst Lakers season in history of the team. I think you guys covered it well about having 15 teams in a conference and 10 making it to postseason play. But I just want to speak on the narrative that LeBron James has created this season about. So now it's about LeBron winning the scoring title, and it's about his stats, and it's about, oh, look what all LeBron's done at this age. But and he knows this. LeBron is a smart man. He's very strategic with the things that he does. So I think he created it. He knew they wasn't going to win a ring back in December. So let me start just getting stats so my fans can say, oh, it's not my fault. Look what LeBron's doing. And just point to Westbrook, point to AD injuries. But this season LeBron has to take more responsibility for this tragic season.
It would be, Wilson, one of the biggest mistakes in LeBron's career if he was only focused in on the scoring title. Being in L.A., that would be a huge mistake.
You think it would be a mistake for him to win it at this point?
To try and go win it?
Well, I mean, like, there are 4 games left. He should not play any games.
Do what I'm doing right now. Sit down. Because if you go and you try and you're eliminated, and you go and try to focus in on an individual award,
Jay, you know what it's like?
That'd be a blemish on LeBron's career, especially in Los Angeles.
For Lakers fans, it'd be like a dude needs a triple-double so he misses the shot on purpose to grab the rebound, right? Like it's empty to Lakers fans if he wins the scoring title.
Because they didn't make the playoffs.
Man, look, 3 games left in the regular season. I said it before. I thought LeBron James should have shut it down. Yeah. If he comes back and he just plays for the scoring title, I think the amount of – I get torn because don't you want to play as many games as possible? But he missed a game last night. So, we're talking about a scoring title. My man missed a game last night against the Suns that ultimately eliminated this team.
Yeah.
That's a bigger story to me than LeBron trying to come back and play for a scoring title. So if he missed the game tonight and then he tries to come back for the scoring title after that you can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't think
you can't do that.
I don't think he'll do it.
You guys have convinced
last
me.
Night.
I agree.
No, I'm saying I don't think he'll try to come back.
You can't, Key.
Yeah,
but also
if you missed the game last night against the Suns,
it's bigger than that to me, Jay. If there's a legitimate reason for you to miss the game and physically it's that touch and go, why would you risk it at this point?
Not, I'm telling you, he's not though.
There's another layer.
He's smart enough, Max, that he's not going to do that. Because like Jay said, we had an opportunity last night to still be alive.
You were going somewhere before, I think, with this though. With Lakers fans.
If you come back and you do this just for a scoring title, it'd be the worst mistake.
Why?
Because Laker fans don't care about empty stats, like you said. Right. We care about making the playoffs and winning championships. We don't care. Okay, so you got a scoring title. What does that do for us?
What else, though? What else? Because I'm right there with you. Lakers fans had mixed feelings about LeBron in the first place because they feel jealous about their love for Kobe Bryant.
Absolutely.
And so Kobe, they see LeBron as a contemporary competitor for, why doesn't Kobe get love as GOAT? And LeBron gets love as GOAT. And LeBron is a hired gun in that way. More like a Wilt Chamberlain than like a Magic Johnson or a Kobe Bryant.
Max was in L.A. He knows. It was 4 years ago prior to LeBron coming to L.A., it was all the noise. He's going to come to L.A. You know how many people, including myself, who loves LeBron James, like a little brother? No. Let his ass stay in Cleveland. Then when we finally got him, I'm like, okay, we accept him. It's cool. He's my guy. It's like, hey, how you doing, LeBron? Because of the Kobe situation. Threatening the Kobe legacy, all of that sort of stuff. And now if you go and you do something like going for a scoring title, that's not a good look. And he knows that.
Jay, it wasn't until Kobe gave LeBron, he gave it his blessing, and then Lakers fans were like, all right.
Everything's good.
All right, Kobe's on board.
It's just interesting, the dichotomy of where we once were with LeBron. Like when Kobe passed, the way LeBron James handled that, he endeared himself to the city.
Absolutely.
They came back, and the way they performed with everything that happened with George Floyd, the pandemic, the way he handled all that, winning the championship, you're like, man, it really feels like LeBron has a legitimate shot at cementing himself at one of the Lakers' greats. We were having a conversation about can he ever get a statue?
Can he ever get on the Mount
on
Rushmore?
the backside of the stadium potentially? Now think about where we came in the last 2 years. They lose in the first round of the playoffs, and now we're saying it's the biggest failure in Laker history and maybe sports history that this team didn't make it. Think about that.
Well,
That's
the one problem that he would have, Max, in all of this is he essentially constructed the team the way it is now.
Self-inflicted.
So it becomes self-inflicted. And on top of that, you want to play. Not that he said he's going to play to try to get the scoring champion, but if he did,
you can't.
You just can't.
There's no
possible way. It's just like I always say, he can't leave the Lakers. He can't go play for another team. I understand. Oh, well, what if he go plays with this team because of his son? Can't do it.
See, Key, and if
just
he
can't do it.
I'm saying he's not, but if he were to play, the narrative becomes, look at LeBron James, always doing something for LeBron James.
Isn't that
No, you're not gonna
ironic?
do it, though.
Isn't it ironic that the dude
People would say that,
he is
though,
the
Key,
first,
you know what I mean?
LeBron,
And he's the most giving dude.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
the
of
most
course.
philanthropic dude. He always wants what's best for the team, but people would take it that way.
he also, like, Steph and Dre, or Steph especially, credited with, like, the modern NBA, the way they revolutionized the game. But LeBron was the first dude post-Jordan. Because Kobe, everyone's trying to be like Mike. Kobe did it. Kobe got there, right? LeBron was the first dude post-Jordan who's like, wait, I'm going to try and do this a new way. I'm Magic meets Mike, right? I'm distributing the ball. I'm not shoot first. And ironically, he would be tagged with a selfish kind of label.
Well, yeah, people waiting on that, though. They
Yeah.
always, he's got so many detractors anyway. They're waiting on him to make that mistake and try and go for
You
the
guys are
scoring
right.
title.
I was on the fence. You guys are absolutely right. He cannot come back. And
Can't
do it.
Can't do it. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, presented by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? They're yours, and Progressive protects them both. Bundle today at Progressive.com. Another controversy from the NBA to get to.
Grayson Allen, hard foul is called. They're going to say offensive foul. But then you see after